This is part 4 of the most in-depth, 3-hour-long analysis and discussion video of the new Nintendo Switch Breath of the Wild trailer you will see. We hope you enjoy it, and please subscribe and like so you don't miss out on future news and rumor videos.
These huts, or the windmills, remind me a lot of the way everything was built in the Wind Waker. It looks like the building to the left has a bunch of lanterns on it. So whenever it's dark time, whenever it's night, you'll still be able to see where everything's located. It has an archway in front of it, and it has like a little guard wall around it, so maybe that building's a little bit more important than the others, because the others, they don't have an archway or anything to them. So I'm guessing the building all the way to the right with the potion bottles is a shop. It looks like potentially you'll have to cross a bridge to get to it. If you look at the waterfall, and then down below it towards the right there's the wooden walkway. It looks like that's how you'll be able to get to the shop. There's another building close to the screen at the very bottom. We just see the roof of it. It has a chimney, so maybe at night there'll be smoke coming out of it, like if they have a fire to keep warm inside, who knows. There's a 2-story house to the right of the house with the archway, towards the middle left of the screen. It has a porch that's high up for the 2nd story, and then maybe an entranceway or something below that to get into the bottom part of the house. To the right, beside the tree, it looks like it could be potentially a horse stable or something. It looks like a place with a roof but no sidewalls. I can't really tell.
Same with the one right across the way from
it.
Yeah. They kind of both look like that.
Down below that, below the guy on the horse, it looks like something that a kid could have made, or like those mailboxes that are supposed to look like the buildings that they belong to.
Oh, okay.
I don't really know.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, because
just a bunch of mailboxes stacked on top of each other.
Yeah, because they're all colorful. It looks like the same shade of red that the roofs are made out of. Mm-hmm. In the middle, like the direct middle of the screen, there's another building. I can't really see too much of it. No, it's like directly in the middle of the screen.
This one?
Up.
This one?
There.
Okay.
So there's that. It doesn't look like the windmills are connected to any houses, but maybe you can still go inside them. It looks like there's a window facing towards the camera on the windmills. And then
house up on the top.
Yeah, and then there's the very house, or the very big house on the top, and there we see chimney smoke coming out. So again, there could potentially be chimney smoke from the other buildings as well. There's not much else. Maybe in the middle left, move the mouse to the middle left of the screen. Go up to the right there. Maybe that could be a shrine. I'm not really sure.
Possibly.
Or like a little cave that goes in the ground. What do you think the building all the way at the top is? Because
I think it's
the shop to me is at the very bottom, and then the rest of these houses just look like places where people will live. So at the very top, what do you think that'll be?
I could see it being like an observatory, kind of similar to the laboratory found in Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask. Same thing.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing, same concept.
Yeah, the observatory or the laboratory, whatever, in Ocarina of Time at Lake Hylia was like up on the hill. Mm-hmm. So
really high point, or it could be like the village leader's place, kind of just watching over the whole village.
Yeah, to keep an eye out for enemies and stuff.
Yeah, but that could also be this other building with the archway around it. That's why it's so important.
Yeah.
Or this other building could be like a town hall type of place, mm-hmm. Central hub for this town. So, but other than that, I don't see very much more. You basically pointed out everything.
Mm-hmm. Really quick, at the shop, the red banner going towards the ground, what does that look like to you? The other one.
The broom?
Does that look like a broom to you?
Yeah, that looks like a broom to me.
All right. What significance would a broom have?
Witch. Because of the potions.
Yeah.
They did that in A Link to the Past.
Yeah, the Katake sisters or whatever, Ganondorf's parents, they rode on the broom.
And then there's the witches that you can go and get potions from in A Link to the Past and Link Between Worlds.
Ocarina of Time has the witch that you do the side quest for.
Majora's Mask.
Ocarina. In Kakariko Village, there was.
Yeah.
The witch. You get the blue potion from her. You never seen her outside of the shop though.
Okay. I thought you were talking about the Kotaku and
Kagame.
That were in Majora's Mask that they just, kind of slapped them in there.
Yeah.
It's like, where'd you come from?
It would be cool if inside the shop it resembled the two.
Yeah, it would. That'd be a good throwback.
Yeah. Not necessarily be Ganondorf's parents, but...
Yeah, similar to Majora's Mask, how they were just counterparts or something.
Yeah, they were just random cool NPCs. All right, so I think we're ready for the next one.
Yeah, let's go here.
And this is Gerudo Desert, Gerudo Valley, Gerudo Fortress. Is that waterfalls coming down from the very top?
Yeah. Where that water's coming from, I have no clue. It's got to be a spring underneath these things.
We see
it's spouting out.
We see an aqueduct for the water on every side. To the left, there's an aqueduct. It looks like it has like a little maze pattern. To the left, it looks like it's coming straight out, and then it goes out to the right. We see the entrance to it at the very bottom, a little bit towards the right. There's the gate. Maybe it opens and shuts. It looks like there's the different colors of the red, blue, green rupees right below it with some Hylian text above that. And then, is that the Gerudo symbol above that?
Yep.
Yeah. And then this whole thing is blocked off by a giant stone rock wall. We can see NPCs, I believe, in the middle next to like little palm trees.
Yeah, I see them.
It looks like some tapestry being used as like the ceiling or something to the bottom left. That could be like where a little shop or something is set up. Following the path from the entrance, going straight up to where the waterfalls are, you can see like the steps and then another archway. That potentially looks like it could lead into like a lot of people would go out and say that would lead to the dungeon or the temple. But I would say this is where the Gerudo live. Similar to an Ocarina of Time, there was the Gerudo Fortress, and then there was the Spirit Temple off on its own. I think this would be where they live because of all the water, and then it looks like they have the little shops with the tapestry set up, and then it's guarded off. So I would say this is where they live. And then somewhere off in the desert in like another location is the Spirit Temple or whatever dungeon is going to be there in the desert. I don't really see too much else. Like there's in the desert part to the middle right, you can see it looks like 4 boxes on like a little sand dune island, whatever. And then some more palm trees up above it to the left. And then a pathway that looks like it leads into the hills or the mountains coming from the palm trees. And then that's about it. I don't really see too much else.
Yeah. Mentioning these aqueduct systems, it shows that the Gerudo have become a little bit more advanced.
Yeah.
Being able to route water into certain locations of their fortress here.
We don't see Link in this shot, so we don't know if it takes place before or after the Master Sword, so it's hard to tell where exactly this takes place. But it would be interesting if when you first get to this place, if the water is barely flowing, and then you have to like go to the dungeon or whatever to get the water pumping again to save them.
If they're going through a drought or something.
That would be interesting. And then you see like this magnificent cutscene where like the water here is pouring out again and the aqueducts are filling back up. That would be really cool.
Here we see some
a bunch of dead trees.
Yeah, it's been completely devastated.
It looks like we're really close to Death Mountain, so probably dead from the heat.
Yeah, either that or maybe lava coming down. This ground has different textures, different colors too, so it could be like soot that has come down here and smothered these trees out.
Yeah, it looks about the color of ash.
I think it keeps panning in, and
This
then
looks
we
like
get to this one.
Yeah, a scene similar to the Life in the Ruins, where you get another shot of everything, lightning coming straight down on the fountain.
Yeah, like many have said before us, this is the fountain, and we've got pretty good evidence that this is the same fountain from Twilight Princess. Whether it's before or after, we still don't know, but all these flags are the same, the steps are the same, everything's the same here. See lightning coming down, and we got a guardian over here. It's basically the same shot that we've already seen of this in the Life in the Ruins trailer, but we just got the guardian and the lightning bolt added to it.
Oh, something that I would really like, I mentioned this in a past discussion. Nintendo said that the lightning at one point in the game will be a problem for Link. Some people, after I said what I said, mentioned that it could be where Link's sword is metal and his shield's made out of metal, and that's what attracts the lightning. But in this game, you can break your shield and you can break your sword, so you can get to a point where you don't have anything metal on you. You just have like a wooden bow and arrow. And if lightning's still going to be a problem for you, I would really like it if they brought back the main boss from the second Zelda game, which was the lightning bird. Like if that was the reason the lightning was hitting you, because there was like a giant dragon bird shooting lightning at you, that would make for an awesome boss fight.
Oh yeah. I think Nintendo has said that the lightning will affect you if you're wearing metal armor and stuff. It's very dangerous to go out with metal armor in a lightning storm. So I think they had said it during some gameplay or something like that during E3.
Obviously the Guardian there in the background walking around, but it doesn't look like there's anything here that we haven't already seen. It's too foggy and hazy to see too far out in the distance. We see Link on the sill here at the bottom left. Another huge lake. It's hard to tell which one of these lakes is actually going to be Lake Hylia, because they're all so huge. Like if you compare this to the Lake Hylia of Ocarina of Time, like this in itself would be like 10 of those. There's the giant mountain here to the left again. You'd be able to climb that to the very top. We see a small little rock sticking out of the water, and then beside that there's the island sticking out. See a bunch of trees on it. I don't see a shrine or anything important. Off to the background, it looks like this river kind of curves in through the different valleys of the hills. We see the big valley sticking up beyond that, and then past that to the left there's the hill or the mountain that's like sticking way up in the very center, and then to the right above the hill on the right there's another mountainous area that's sticking up. It looks like there's either two flags or two trees standing on it. Can't really tell.
It's similar to a lot of this footage. You can't really see it, but there's not really anything important in this clip.
I think this is just showing like how vast it is.
Yeah. We're barely 2 minutes in.
Because like you look at Link, how tiny he is, and then how much water and how much land is there. It'll be interesting to note if Link is able to like upgrade his makeshift woodcraft for like an actual boat or something.
Yeah, that would be really interesting to see. Or maybe even using the Sheikah slate for something more advanced. Being able to almost like the boat from Skyward Sword that the skipper drives around on.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool to see. But moving on, now we get to this shot. This is what we were talking about.
That was the Deku tree. The Koroks were hopping around on him. You can't really see.
Here he's talking to Link.
Yeah, you can't really see too much at the bottom. Link hasn't pulled the Master Sword out, so even though he's in the area to do so, he hasn't yet.
But yeah, I think this is the first scene that you see when you get to the Master Sword. The Deku tree probably just starts talking.
Also interesting, you see 4 completely different Koroks. Like the way their leaves are shaped are different on their face. So that's interesting. I hope there's the return of the Kokiri, because they're one of my favorite races. I know, the Kokiri are just a different form of the Koroks, but it would be nice to have an actual Kokiri. Or if you somehow seen them transform, like one of these Koroks transformed back into the Kakiri, or you seen a Kakiri like it would be really cool if like you came across the woods and you seen like a small little child that was dressed like a Kakiri, and then once you start moving closer to him, he just runs off in the woods, and then once you chase him so far, you see him like change into a Korok, and then all these other Koroks just rise up in the air. How awesome would that be?
That would be pretty freaking awesome. Very similar to Wind Waker.
Yeah.
I'd really love to see that. But yeah, there's story implications all over the place. This Great Deku Tree is amazing. Moving on, back to, see, he's standing right in front of it, looking up at the Great Deku Tree. There's not really much there. He's just staring at the Great Deku Tree. We do see that Link has his Sheikah Slate, so the Master Sword does look damaged. In its damaged state, it looks like there's a little bit of rust on it, but like most of this footage, you can't really tell. Moving on, here we come to a Guardian, it looks like. That's been destroyed. Looks like it's out of commission, but the center is still on, similar to a couple other ones that we've seen before. Probably still able to attack you, but not, get up and move around. Right here we've got what looks like an archway that's been destroyed. This looks like it could be more footage from close to Hyrule Castle or areas where Calamity Ganon has, wreaked havoc.
Yeah.
Same with these Guardians, which we will see in a minute. So keeping it going.
There's a beautiful shot of a flower. I wonder if these certain flowers, where they're putting the emphasis on it, I wonder if you'll be able to like pick these and use them for like spices in the food, or to be able to trade them, because they look very similar to the flowers that you could get in Wind Waker and like plant across that island.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. And like tons of people mentioned before, these are literally almost the same white flowers from A Link to the Past.
Yeah.
Since it's right next to the Master Sword and all that, that's where they grow. And we see them growing through this field right here, so it looks like they're going to be scattered throughout Hyrule, maybe in certain fields or regions or something. But it's a really zoomed in shot. You can't really see anything on the outside because it's all defocused and everything. So continuing on, this thing just kind of withers in the wind. This scene, I'm just going to let play here because this is from a tower. And it's really cool because it actually just shows you the sheer vastness of this game, similar to other shots. But I mean, Jesus, it just keeps going and going and going. We'll go back and look at some of that because there's probably some areas that we need to talk about there. It's most of the Great Plateau, right on the Great Plateau. So one of the towers that we've probably seen in the gameplay that other people have posted. This actually looks close to that weather shot time lapse that they have up on their site or on the YouTube channel. This looks very close to that area. It just keeps expanding out. It's moving so fast you kind of can't see anything. Looks like a few shrines scattered throughout here, but it's so blurry. I'm not seeing a whole lot. We got another Sheikah Tower. Then the shot just kind of pans out. And we get to this one. This one's really important. This is that Guardian that is scaling the side of Death Mountain constantly throughout the day, just wandering around the sides of it.
Yeah.
This thing is huge. And as we can see, he looks to be taken over by Calamity Ganon, just like the other Guardians that we've seen.
Now, you mentioned whenever we were doing the analysis on the image leak, or the images Nintendo posted, that someone mentioned it looked like a scorpion. The Pod Smashers, I believe. Yeah,
Zelda Pod Smashers actually said that this thing looks like a scorpion. We don't see the back of it, and that's actually what he was mainly talking about, is that it looked like it had a tail on it, 6 legs, and it just keeps walking there. It's taking that lava like it's nothing.
You can see the moon in the background.
And that's a really nice shot. I really like that. It's really pretty.
Do you think this is a cutscene from Link's perspective, or do you think they just free panned the camera and then got close up like this?
I think they free pan the camera. This might be just a cutscene when you get up to this point, or maybe you come up to an NPC and the NPC tells you that there's this big mechanical beast roaming the side of Death Mountain and that you need to take it out because nobody can get to the top or something like that.
Yeah. For those wondering, the way that he walks on the mountain, he follows a pattern for like a certain time of the day. Depending on what time it is of that day, you'll be able to know where he is located on the mountain. So like at one time he'll be on, say like at 2 p.m. he'll be on the opposite side of the mountain, and then at 6 a.m. he'll be like directly in the north side of the mountain, and then depending on the time he'll be at a different spot. But his he does have a set pattern. He's not just freely moving around.
No, not at all. And up to the right, I'd like to mention this looks like a
like a man-made ledge.
Like a man-made ledge. Exactly. That's exactly what it looks like here. So, there might be a platform up at the top of Death Mountain that you can get up to, similar to like Ocarina of Time, where you can go into the entrance of Death Mountain towards the peak. It's not fully up to the top, but seeing as this guy's so close to the top of Death Mountain, I can only assume that's a man-made platform. Keep it.
Yeah. Also, really quick, the fire in the lava doesn't look like it's having any effect on this machine, so I'm really interested in how we'll beat it.
You might have to get on the inside of it or something.
Yeah, it's big enough.
Power it down or something.
Here it looks like Link's cheeks are like he's blushing, or he has like a bit of anger. It could even be a bruise. They just look darker than the rest of his face, so I wanted to point that out.
It's also got the Master Sword.
Yep. It looks like Zelda is dressed as Hylia. It looks like she has the white dress on around her waist and her chest, and then a gold necklace. So this could take place as a cutscene in the past, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
The blue tunic, like we're used to seeing by now. Really good detail on how Link looks close up in this game. Looks awesome. And again, I want to point out, this looks like 1080p.
Yeah, it definitely does. Like you said, Link's expression on his face, Nintendo always does a phenomenal job with that.
Yep.
Love the subtlety that they've given to Link here in this scene. Really beautiful. Really beautiful.
It looks like he's kind of short though.
It kind of pans out, and then we go into here, and this looks like a shrine.
It has the purple markings of a shrine. We've seen a puzzle like this in the E3 demo for the shrine, but the blue atmosphere is completely gone. There's not like the blue foggy haze in. It looks like the way this rotates, it's like a giant cylinder. If you look to the right, there's a hole that maybe while it's rotating, if that hole goes underneath you, you'll fall down, possibly die. As it rotates, you'll be able to use these little arm ledges that are sticking out as platforms to jump to other areas while it's rotating to make your way to the top center.
They've done something like this in the Minish Cap. You had to move a log, and it would open up different holes on whichever way you pushed it. So you probably have to push this thing or get it to where it moves to open up certain pathways either way.
Yeah, so for everybody, we've seen the references to the NES Zelda game, Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess. Maybe this is the reference to Minish Cap.
Yeah, maybe. That's the only game that I could think of that had a mechanic like that, to where you're in a...
To point out, usually in the shrines, it has the blue glow on the walls, but here it's the purple, and that blue foggy haze, as I was saying earlier, is gone. So, and then this green line that you see Link's running beside, I think that might be what's powering it. Like once the green line's on, it's rotating. When it turns red or just turns off, maybe it stopped rotating, and you have to find a way to power it so it does rotate. And the green line is just indicating that it is like rotating or whatever.
Yeah, I agree with that. It definitely looks like it has something to do with this thing moving in this while Link is running through it. There's got to be a different motion or a different thing that you have to do to get it to spin, though.
There was some people in the chat when we were first watching that said Zelda's naked. I think this is similar to the white outfit she was wearing previously.
And this is a reference to the shrines that Zelda had to go to in Skyward Sword to purify herself in order to get the memories back of being Hylia and all of that.
Yeah.
So this looks exactly like the same exact type of thing. So, this could be her doing something very similar, possibly even becoming Hylia or bringing back Hylia in the form of Zelda again, like Jesse mentioned before. She's in that white dress, so
it looks like to the left that's the small goddess statue, and then the one in the middle could be like the larger goddess statue.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not glowing,
and then this could be
but
right in front of her. Could be where the goddess crest is that you strike with your
from Skyward Sword. Or either that, or where you would place the tablet to open up a new province or whatever in Skyward Sword. Could be like that. With the references to Skyward Sword, it'll be interesting if Fi or Fi has a reference, even if it's something little like Zelda's father. In Skyward Sword, he was the only one that really knew about Fi or Fi or the Master Sword and the goddess and everything. So it'd be interesting if Zelda's father in this game, if at some point he mentions like a consciousness or something living inside the sword, or that the sword is alive, even if we don't necessarily see Fi, if there's just a reference to her, I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, and now that you mentioned that, when we saw that clip of earlier of the Master Sword, and it's got that light beaming down on it, that could, possibly symbolize something like that. So definitely be a cool thing to see Fi maybe even make the subtlest return with just maybe saying Link's name or something when he pulls the sword. Yeah, she's moving there, kind of wrapping her arms around herself, almost like she's cold.
Yeah. Well, it's nighttime and she's in the water, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's interesting scene with Link has his back turned. The sword, it looks like it's in a swinging motion, maybe.
Yeah, this is the scene I was talking about earlier, I think. Oh no, but it does look like this is part of that scene. Link's bracer is dirty. His face is dirty. You can see some dirt smudge on him.
Yeah, his shirt has some damp spots where it looks darker from being wet.
Doesn't have the slate.
Yeah, it looks like he's running away, like he's looking back to see how close it is or something. Something odd though, I would imagine it would be something large chasing him, but here it looks like he's looking down towards the camera.
Yeah, it doesn't look very big. Doesn't look like he's looking up or anything like that. So, you would think if it was Calamity Ganon or Ganon in his form that he's in later on, if this does take place earlier, because the Sheikah Slate's not there, it's on his left side of his hip, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so you would think if it was Calamity Ganon that he'd be looking up, not down. So he could be on a hill, but I highly doubt it. Other than that, we just, we got a forest behind him. It's, raining outside.
Yeah, you can't really see dark. Too far in the distance.
No, there's a ton of fog. That's one thing that's all over this game is fog. It's everywhere. Yeah, and Link even kind of stumbles after that a little bit. God, he's got to be terrified, man. Yeah, I'm so excited. And then we come to this Guardian.
Yeah,
it's got to be a Guardian. I'm wondering what's up with its purple feet.
I don't know. It looks like I forgot what the name of it was. One of the giant walkers from Star Wars.
Yeah. I can't remember what they're called either.
Yeah.
It looks like a boss from Shadow of the Colossus. They have a boss that's like this. Yeah. Just a big horse type looking thing.
Can't really tell where it's at. It looks like it might be in the desert. Like as it's walking, it's knocking a bunch of the sand or dust in the air, and that's what's causing it to be hazy.
Yeah, now that you mention that, this purple effect might be so this thing can walk in the desert because it might be too heavy. It's like we saw earlier, some things get sunken in the sand, so this effect right here could be to keep it on top of the sand so it can continue to walk through it at a faster rate. If it was built by the Sheikah, like every other Guardian that we've seen, they must have designed it in a way to travel across the desert, if this is a desert region. But yeah, it keeps moving. Yeah, that's sand for sure. And it does knock some up.
I want to thank you all for watching this video. If you liked it, give this video a like and share it with your friends. If you haven't already, please subscribe so you don't miss out on future gaming news, theories, rumors, and discussions. Also, let me know your thoughts in the comments below on how it could be improved. Your feedback is the most important part of bringing the quality of content on this channel to be the best that it can be. I would like to take this time to give a huge thank you to this month's Patreon supporters: Jonathan, The Edge Network, Magic Tech Review, John Frank, and Harris Priest. This video was made possible by supporters on Patreon. If you would also like to support this channel, head over to patreon.com/GameOverJesse where you can support this channel as well. Rewards vary from having your topic featured on a future discussion, seeing videos early, joining as a guest on a video, shoutouts, and having a custom avatar similar to my own drawn of you to match any video game or anime art style that you would like. Mine is of myself as Link, but you could choose to have yours any way that you would like. Finally, I would like to thank my friends CS Guitar 89 and Gnomo Designs for providing the music and artwork for this video.